Hell yeah. You know what it is. Another episode of that Victory Talk podcast. We got a lot we need to cover today. It's all about building your money, muscle, and mindset like we always do about this time. Let's start the show right now. Yeah. Look at me, I'm punching. Now I'm teaching. We out here. Now I'm looking out the fucking window. Let's go. It's another episode of that Victory Talk podcast. It's episode 191. God damn. We doing this shit, man. I am your host, Big Brandon Carter, the king of ketosis, Gymnasium Jesus, Jesus de Gimnasio para mi gente. And you know, I'm joined by co-host / producer, the homie Nima. What up, bruh?
All good. Another day. Let's get it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm also joined by Minovia. You know, she's gonna be monitoring the chats, kicking out the haters, blocking the haters. It's gonna be start talking shit. It's gonna be a block party up in this motherfucker. You feel me? But she's also gonna be reading your super chats, right? This will be the first time a lot of y'all got the chance to be acknowledged by a big booty, fat titty Latina. First time one of them paid attention to you ever. You know what I'm saying? So all you gotta do is read a super chat, man. To get all of our attention. All right. And we got a lot we want to cover today. All right. I'm gonna tell y'all how to get some fucking money. We're gonna talk about getting fitness. We're gonna talk about markets. We're gonna talk about getting money in the stock market. It's all about money, muscle, mindset. That's what we do talk about on the Victory Talk podcast. Right. But first, I gotta have a word from our sponsor. All right. We got two sponsors, Nima.
Yeah. Wow.
The first sponsor is the newsletter Big Money Methods. All right. First link in the description. Click that link, put your email in here, then hit subscribe. And twice a week, you're going to get sent articles on methods to help you make big money. Right. Boom. I wrote one about money habits to keep you fucking broke, poor, like a bitch. Being poor is fucking gay. All right. Then we got the homie Chris, one of my top salespeople. He wrote a dope art. He's writing articles, and then Sean, one of my top copywriters. Man, put the link in the description. Let's get it, man. Money, muscle, mindset. Let's go. All right. Also, now we got another sponsor. I haven't talked about it much on the podcast. All right, it's something it's a project that we kept under wraps for a long time. All right. So for a while now, Nima and I, we had been working on a product that we had hoped to release by Valentine's Day. All right. We didn't make that deadline, but we think we can have it out by this summer. All right. And it's called Thought Repellent. Thought Repellent, the easy to apply spray to keep the hoes away. So this has been genetically engineered to repel the DNA, and not all women, right? Because some women are amazing, but some are fucking thought slows, hoes, sluts, skanks, skeezers, scallywags, Jezebels, and Puerto Rican. So what we would that was a joke, para mi gente. Mi gente mucho peligroso para usted. All right. And anyway, it only affects the DNA of like thoughts and sluts and hoes. All right. They won't be able to get near you. They're going to be repelled. But the good women, they're going to be more attracted to you once they smell that thought repellent on you. You're like, that smells like a good man. That smells like a good man, right? So we're going to need this, and we want this out by summer. Here's the thing, though. We need your help. Yeah, we need your help. I didn't want to go get investors and raise money. I didn't want to go to venture capitalists, Shark Tank. You know what I'm saying? Because then I'm going to have to answer to the investors, some white men or Damon John, right? And I ain't want to do that. I ain't want to be sitting here and fucking haggle with Mark Cuban about this shit. You know what I'm saying? I only wanted to answer to y'all, people who watch the Victory Talk podcast, the Victinators. That's why it's being funded by y'all. All your super chats go toward development for thought repellent. All right? It's your fault. It didn't come out on Valentine's Day because you didn't give enough super chats. So we didn't have enough capital to get this off the ground. I mean, I got the prototype. I'm safe. I sprayed this shit all around myself, man. All right. But you need it. I didn't want to get it to you, man. And if you want the thought repellent, you gotta donate to the fund. And in return for your donation, I will actually acknowledge you and answer any questions you have. All right. Matter of fact, I think some heroes have already contributed to the thought repellent fund, and let them be acknowledged. Let's go.
We have Leo. Can you talk about state control, specifically making sure other people stay positive so it doesn't affect me, whether friends, family, or strangers?
All right. Listen, you can't control other people. You can influence them, right? You can't control them, right? So as much as possible, you want your state, your state of mind, your mental state to be detached from circumstances, right? You don't have control over outside circumstances. You don't have control over other people. You only have control over two things. There's only two things you can control in life: your attitude and your behavior, right? There's only two things you really can control. Everything else you can influence, but it doesn't mean you control it, right? You can just put the odds in your favor. That being said, what? When I walk around, if anybody walks around, everywhere I go, I consider myself the head of state, right? I'm going to control everyone's state or do my best to influence everyone's state around me. So when I'm walking around my building, motherfucking security guards, I'm saying what up, showing love, right? And I'm trying to, I go out of my way. I didn't mean to say the T word. I apologize for that profanity. I go out of my way to, we don't use the word try around here, right? We're not fucking try babies. Right. I do everything in my power to positively affect the state of the people around me. So if I'm walking around, I'm giving motherfuckers high fives. You know what I'm saying? I'm infusing my energy into others. Pause. Because but for two reasons. One, if they got some bullshit states are contagious. So if they got some bullshit state or they all fucking pissed, it's going to affect my state because states are contagious. You ever see somebody walk into a room and the whole fucking energy in the room switch to like negative? Somebody comes in all angry or ornery, right? It changes the whole state, right? If I wanted to, I can walk in a room and fuck the state up, The fuck is all this over here? You ugly. Look at your shirt, man. This shit looks stupid, man. Hey, nigga, look at how thick your glasses are, man. I can see you can probably see the words come out my mouth like a comic book. I start making fun of people, and I can negatively affect their state. Or I can positively affect it. Say, hey, what's going on, man? What's good? How you doing, man? No, good seeing you, right? Giving compliments. But I'm not doing it necessarily just because I like making people happy. That's cool. But really, I don't want their fucking bullshit state to affect me. You know what I'm saying? As much as possible, I want to influence it, right? So, like, Nima, have you noticed it when you walk around, you be around with me sometimes? Have you seen it? Is it something you noticed or not?
Something that I've always noticed is how you actually mentioned about your attitude and your energy when you walk around. always positive, always smiling, and you're very aware of that. And even when someone around you feel like they're down, or I remember you ask them, you follow up because you feel that.
What's wrong? Hey, what's wrong, buddy?
Yeah.
Hey.
No, that's a fact. Seriously, like
much to the chagrin of my girlfriend, right? Because I see people in the fucking elevator. I say what up to them, man. And some of them might be a woman, you know, and then she don't like that shit. You don't like this shit, but she's what's the word I'm looking for? Insane. So I give that little credence. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to fuck this old bitch in the elevator, man. Last thing I need in my life is more another crazy woman. One is more than enough. Dios mío. You know what I'm saying? I got one Dominican one. Yeah, you know what that's like? Y'all know what that's like? That's like if you were like some sort of creature that the only food it could eat is great white sharks or something. Like that's what it's like having a Dominican girl. If you were like a regular fish and all you could fuck is great white sharks, or that's the only thing you could fuck. It's like, every day it's like, all right, here we go. But you know, somebody got to do it. Somebody got to do it. Yeah, so that's what you do, man. It's state control. So, but you got to be the first thing. You got to control your state too. You first level is controlling your state. Then the next level is being able to affect the states of the people you around. I mean, you got to do it all the time, not just people who are important. Fucking. If I'm on an airplane, man, the fucking plane waitress. The motherfucking person at the check, hey, what's going on? Hey, good seeing you. Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Right. Just really being positive and uplifting to everyone. Fucking security guards, you know, waiters, children, no drizzy, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the key, man. Just think about I think about how I want the person to feel, pause, when I'm interacting with them. Like it's somebody I take into account. Good vibes, man. And not even trying to get anything from them, right? It's like you don't want to do it like transactionally, like you're trying to get something from them. It needs to be like you're trying to not get something from them, right? You're trying not to get any negative vibes that they got or any fucking bullshit that happened to them, man. Oh man, my fucking kid's flunking out of preschool. And he's worried about that shit. And his fucking negativity gonna seep into my life, fuck my shit up. Fuck that, man. Fuck them kids, man. You're gonna be happy around me. You're gonna be sad and cry at your own. You cry about your dumbass kids on your own time. All right. What else we got? It's gonna be one of those episodes I can see. I took a pre-workout.
What was that video you posted yesterday?
Yeah.
About loving it here.
About what?
Loving it here.
Loving
anybody
what?
Sees you with a Dominican girl.
¿Qué pasa?
Oh, now you don't speak English, huh?
Hey, me no sé, mi amor.
You love it here. Leo has a follow-up question.
El Chato ahora.
That's not even Spanish.
Vámonos, chica.
Where are we going?
Oh, rapido, chica.
We have NKS432. Dude, you're the man. Your fat loss video, calories, walking, full body. I've been preaching it for years. But the way you put it, chef's kiss.
Yeah, mwah. That's what he means. You know what I'm saying? Listen, there's a lot of truth in that statement, brother. This man, that's classic NKS432. Classic NK4S432, man. You know what I'm saying? That man just speaks the truth. There's a lot of truth in that statement. All right. I think a lot of people would agree with that, brother. What else we got?
2-pack academics.
What
Do you ever plan on writing a self-help book full of game and jewels and instant buy for me, kind of like your podcast in a book form?
I got some. They're like 10 years old, but they're on Amazon. If you search Brandon Carter on Amazon, you'll see a treasure trove of books, man. Some of them got thousands of reviews with 5-star, man. But those is kind of old. I need to probably make a new one. What should be the name? What should be the name, man? Victory book. Victory read. Because right now we talking about victory, but if you get the book, you reading about victory. Victory read. Oh shit, let's get serious, man. All right. So those are some of the super chats. I'll be answering super chats throughout the remainder. Oh, there's more? One just came in at the fucking buzzer.
But to follow up, he said outside of fitness books.
Yeah, man, I got some outside of fitness books, man. There's one called the Beginner's Guide to Being Awesome. Maybe I need to write the intermediate guide. But yeah, the Beginner's Guide to Being Awesome. That's a good one. There's another one, Allergic to Average. I went on a little Kindle rampage at one point. Yeah. I think we got another super chat.
We have Ian been following you since White Boy Brian.
White Boy Brian. You know what I'm saying? Brian De Gringo. You know what I'm saying? Brian live in fucking Washington Heights. Is that Washington Heights 145th? Yeah, that's Washington Heights. He lived right by the fucking Dominican sushi, Mama Sushi. He lived Brian, yo, I pay Brian like $400,000 a year. This motherfucker still live in the hood, man. And he white. He not even from the hood like me, man. This motherfucker made money and moved to the hood. You know why though? He got that same curse I do. That same curse, man. We just like we like Latino women. They call them Poppy Gringo. Uptown. You know what I'm saying? Poppy Gringo. Come through.
Why is that a curse?
Huh?
Why is it a curse?
Oh no, I'm not you, baby. You the greatest, girl. Everyone love you. You know what I'm saying? You're ain't nothing crazy about you. I meant all them other girls be losing their mind. You the sane one. That's why I'm with you, baby. Listen, baby girl. Like them other, I felt like it was a curse until I met the one tiny Latina chick who wasn't out her motherfucking mind, baby. And then when I said, "Ooh, I need to look at that. I need to scoop that up. I need all that just for me." Matter of fact, you need to come out of New York and come to Florida with me, baby girl. You know, so you healed the curse. You were the cure for the curse. You get what I'm saying? It's like you know that story when the princess kissed the frog and he turned into a prince. That's like my life. I feel like a motherfucking till I met you. I felt like a motherfucking frog. I was eating bugs and shit, right? Living in the swamp. And then I seen you. And then ever since the first kiss, I became the man. I became the man I am now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you cured me. You know what I'm saying? So let's give my girlfriend a round of applause. You know what I'm saying? Let's give her a round of applause. All right.
Nima,
all right.
could I have this clip chopped up and just send it to me?
Sure.
Baby girl. You can have whatever you want.
We'll do a full production of
this. Yo, hey, let's learn some shit. I got some shit I want to talk to y'all about. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into in the segment we like to call Real Talk. Yo, run it back. I'm sorry. Okay, I still need to get myself together. Just let me just one more time. If you're trying to sell, if you want to learn how to sell anything to anyone, this may be the most important video you've ever watched. Right? If you are in business or you want to start a business, you need to know these psychological sales and marketing tactics, or else you'll be like the 80% of businesses that fail. Right? And I'm well suited to teach you this because over the last decade, I built several multi 8-figure businesses, balling, shot calling. And I've made millions and millions of dollars from sales and marketing. And I'm going to break down some of the principles that have helped me build my multi-million-dollar businesses. And these are the principles I've taught to my students who have also built successful businesses of their own. All right. Now, the principles I'm about to teach you are based off 3 books that I read about 10, 12 years ago. The first one is called the 1-Sentence Persuasion Course. It's a very short book by this dude named Blair Warren. Sounds like a white man. I ain't never met no niggas named Blair. And I hope I never do. So shout out to White Blair for writing this book. I'm going to break down some of the principles in it because it's a fantastic it's a fantastic book. Because it's a fantastic book. All right. The next book is Influence by Robert Cialdini. I don't know if he talks like that, but with a name like Cialdini, I'm assuming that they thought. And it's one of my favorite books. I've read this no bullshit over 100 times. No bullshit. I used to read it. I've literally read it or listened to the audiobook over 100 times. There would be times where I would just play this book on I would just listen to the audio version of this book. It used to be times I listened to the audio version of this book and just rerun it back. So every day I'm at the gym walking around, I would just keep listening to that book. It is fantastic. And every time I learn something new. Hey, if it's even better if you read it. If when you read it, you imagine he's talking like this. Hey, this is how you sell stuff over here, eh? All right. And and then the third book is a book I used to keep secret. I liked it so much. I used to not tell. I like this book so much. I used to not talk about it publicly. I might have read this book about 12 years ago, I think. And it was so good. I never talked about it publicly. But now I'm so rich that, oh, no, the reason I didn't talk about it publicly was because I didn't want my competitors to, whoa, something's happening. Look. Oh, I didn't want my competitors to get the knowledge in that book and be better suited to compete with me. But now I'm so rich and successful that word competitor is used very loosely on my part, because it's like, just because you studied the Bible don't mean you competing with Jesus, right? I'm at a point where these motherfuckers can't really catch up. All right. So I feel comfortable sharing it publicly. All right, let's get into it. And then, so let's get into it. So the first book, the first, oh, you know what? I made this wrong, Nima. These are supposed, it's actually 21. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be long. It's 21. It's 21 secret. All right. So okay. So these are the 21 psychological. These are the 21 dark psychological techniques that help you sell anything to anyone based off those 3 books. All right. And the first one is so now the one sentence persuasion course is built around this one is built around this one sentence where White Blair says, people will do anything for those who encourage their dreams, justify their failures, allay their fears, confirm their suspicions, and help them throw rocks at their enemies. All right. And we're going to break down every part of that sentence. All right. So the first part, encourage their dreams. Okay. So here's what we need to know about psychology. The homie Sigmund Freud, Sigmund Freud was a coked up pervert, but he's also the father of modern psychology. And old Freud said that all people, every decision everyone makes, they're either moving towards pleasure or away from pain. Right? So pain, pleasure. Right? So so all human decision making is based off this principle. Everybody's moving either towards perceived pleasure or perceived pain. Right? So when White Blair said encourage their dreams, right? They had that's the part he's talking about, the part where he's talking about the part where we get them to move towards perceived pleasure. All right. So when you're thinking about your product or service that you're selling to people, you don't want to think about the features and the benefits of it. You want to think about what it's going to, you don't want to think about the features of it, right? You want to think about what it's going to do for them. For example, right? People don't buy features, they buy benefits. For example, I know all the specs on this iPad. I was looked at all the specs on this iPad mini when I bought it, but the truth is, all I cared about is what that's going to do for me, right? I needed something I can make these amazing drawings on YouTube and show them to you, right? I bought the benefit, right? You get what I'm saying? So a lot of times in the fitness industry, I used to have a supplement company. We had an exit at one point. I can't talk about the details of it, but it worked out pretty well for me. But when I had my supplement company, I would see a lot of supplement companies would make the mistake of talking about, we have this much citrulline, this much L-arginine, this much creatine, blah, 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 blah. And they only talked about the features, right? But I talked about what it would do for you. You get what I'm saying? So let me explain if I can. Let me see, bro. Give me a second. I want to pull up some. If I can find. Okay, let me see here. Find the copy for Rebellion. So, yeah, I talked about, so like, for example, this was one of our supplements. It was Rebellion pre-workout. Let me see if I can. Boom. Right. Yeah. And I said what was in it, all this stuff. That's cool. Because you gotta tell people what's in it, but that's not the main thing, man. It's explosive pre-workout energy system. And I talked about what it's going to do for them, right? Help increase intensity, amazing taste, mixability, promotes explosive energy, right? I wish I could show you the back of this shit. Oh yeah, here's the product description. Whoever fucking made this site, because bro, it don't exist no more, right? right? So I didn't talk. Yeah, I could talk about, oh, it has citrulline, it has beta alanine, caffeine, blah 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 blah. But nah, man. When I wrote the copy for the shit, and this was one of our best selling products, right? We look at the copy. I'm talking about what it's going to do for you, right? So I believe this is the copy I wrote. Works to increase your strength and maximize endurance. The ingredients in Rebellion are designed to optimize your performance and intensity in the gym, right? Because that's what motherfuckers want, right? That's what it's going to do for them, right? Proven ingredients promote fat loss, right? I'm talking about what it's going to do for you, right? It would, like a bad marketer would have just said, oh, it just has this caffeine, boom, 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 just has this caffeine. But now I said, no. Caffeine has been shown to increase alertness, energy output, which makes, I didn't write this. The way I wrote was better. I didn't write this, but yeah, I didn't write this one. Let me find the copy that I wrote. I wish I can just see the back of the bottle, man. The website is not available anymore, right? Yeah, no, the website's gone, man. Whoever the motherfuckers who we sold it to. Oh, it's not yours? That's somebody else. Fuck, I wish I could show you the bot. Well, I wish you could see the bot. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. What's this? Oh. Well, I talked about what it's going to do for you. So all whatever, we can go. Just skip this. Right. The key, the major key when you're marketing is talk about what it's going to do for them, right? And whatever you're selling, talk about how you're going to help them somehow is going to improve their life and increase perceived pleasure. That's very important. You got to set the tone of why they should fuck with your shit. All right. Now, the next part of the one sentence persuasion course was justify their failures. So something when I'm talking about when I'm writing copy, I always put in something about how, hey, it's not your fault, right? Okay, let me take that part out. Justify their failures. I think this is not a political statement, but I think that Donald Trump is the best marketer of all times, right? Because just looking at one of his accomplishments, he's one of the first. I'm not political at all. I'm 100% apolitical, but let's just take into account. He became president without holding any public office before that. Only one other guy did that. That was Dwight Eisenhower. He had to motherfucking save the world and kill Hitler to do it. You know what I'm saying? Right? Trump just had to know marketing and he didn't. Like no one's ever done it. Right? So now one thing that Trump always did, right? When he's out at these rallies and he's talking about all the problems that the people he wants to vote for him, he's like, all these people that have problems, they fucking inflation, then jobs are leaving. What does he do? He always blames it on someone else. Right? He never says to his followers, hey, you motherfuckers need to work harder. Hey, jobs are leaving your state. Jobs are leaving this shit fucking town you live in. He's now telling them to move, right? Because that's the logical thing to do, man. If like the jobs are leaving your town, fucking move. The fucking migrants got enough sense to go to where the jobs are, right? Illegal immigrants got enough goddamn sense to go to where the jobs are. But instead, what he does is he says, hey, man, it's China's fault. It's illegal immigrants. Meanwhile, I ain't never seen an immigrant doing a motherfucking job I wanted. Like all the immigrants I see are delivering my motherfucking Uber, washing dishes at restaurants, or editing my videos. I'm sorry, man. As soon as when it came in my head, I had to say it. we love Nima. He's the best in the game. Wait, he doesn't even edit the videos. He paid some motherfuckers to edit the video. Do a good job on this one, nigga. I don't know who you are. Or Nima's gonna fire you. Okay. Let's get serious, right? But he always fucking blames someone else for his constituents' problems. Think about that. That's a marketing tool. That is a marketing strategy. You have to justify their failures, because if you make someone feel like the shit they're going through is not their fault, man, they'll love you for it. I remember when I first started hiring people to clean up my apartment back in New York. There was this old Jamaican lady who used to come clean the crib, and I was like, "Yo, man, I'm sorry, man. This place is so fucked up." And she said, "Lord of mercy." She said, no, she said, "What the go on? It's okay. You mind them busy. Too busy to clean." Booyaka. Right, but she said, "Oh, not basically." She was saying, those of y'all who don't speak patois, what she was saying is, "Yo, you too busy." You know what I'm saying? So, it's okay, baby. You too busy. You know, I was like, I actually felt better about myself, and I had that chick clean my fucking crib until I moved, because she made me feel good about it, right? So whoever, if you're marketing or trying to sell something to someone and they're failing, if you can find a way to blame it on something else, blame their fucking failures on something else, or to say how, hey, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. You got this going on, right? They will love you for it. This is a big reason why Trump's fan base is so fucking enthusiastic. It's one of the reasons, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, he's a master at this. Like, he never says that, you never hear him say Americans need to work harder, right? Never. Because he's a fucking master at this shit, you know? Okay. Right? You know, like, for example, every guy, at least once or twice in their life, they had a fucking night where they couldn't get it up, you know? If the girl says, "Oh, it's okay, it happens to everyone," every once in a while, if she makes you feel good about it, or maybe starts using that mouth to get it right, like a good girl, you'll love her for it even more. You know what I'm saying? "Oh, thanks for the mouth. You got the shit popping. You did a good job with that." My girl just typed that her mom be watching this. Good. She needs to, good, man, because she's a smart woman. That's why no wonder I like her so much. No wonder she makes so much sense, so much good sense when I talk to her. You know what I'm saying? No wonder she's making so much good sense. Now, as I was saying before I got distracted, when your girl uses her mouth to get you back up and tells you how it's not your fault, right? You're gonna like it even more, right? It happens to everybody. It's probably gonna happen to every guy at least once or twice in their life. Nima, when's the last time it's happened to you? Don't answer that on camera. I'm just fucking with you. All right. Some of y'all hear me tell you, "Hey man, it happens to every guy once or twice in their life." Some of y'all hear that and y'all liking me more. I'm telling you, it's not your fault. Now, by contrast, what if that girl said, "Man, too bad. I wish you was a real man who had a working dick." Imagine, right? You wouldn't want to see that chick again. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't want to see that chick again. Right? Justify their failures. When you want to be persuasive, justify their failures. I'm telling you, they'll love you for it. They'll love you for it. And if you want to see it in action, Watch politics. Watch politics. They always say it's someone else's fault for their constituents' problems. 100%. They never said, hey, man, the people in my state need to fucking work harder. You'll never hear that shit. You'll never hear that shit. Or they'll blame the other side. Oh, it's the liberals fucking taking all our fucking money. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll say, we need to tax the rich. You know? I'm like, tax me? What do you want to tax me for, bitch? I'm going to evade those taxes. Believe that. All right. We're going to get in the rest of these persuasion tactics. This video got a little out of hand. I got distracted. We're going to take a quick break from this and talk about the motherfucking market, because we out here getting money, getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of Trump, he gave us a layup the other day. He said, yo, now's a good time to buy. And I don't think this is legal. He said, now's a good time to buy. And then he fucking pumped the market up. I did the Trump dance, made some fucking bread. Let's go, man. We got the homie Young Candlestick to talk about. Let's get it.
What's up,
yo,
man?
what up, man? What's good?
There's a lot going on, that's for sure.
Was that legal what Trump did?
Yeah, no, you gave me a good lead in. You were just talking about it. So Trump posted on DJT, Truth Media, Trump offers buy tip on social media hours before the tariff pause that made stocks soar. So there's a lot behind this, and we're going to break it down. We're going to show where it happened on the charts. And then also, I'm going to cover the broad market, talk about, is this market crash over, or is there another crash yet to come?
Is it just getting popping? Let's go.
Exactly. So it's SPY, S&P 500, massive volatility. We haven't seen volatility like this since C19.
Since last time Trump was in office, huh?
I know, right? We had to wait 4 years before we could get markets to move. That's for sure. Basically, though, last time I was on the Victory Talk podcast, I couldn't come on Tuesday because I was at a CMT conference. I'll be sure to share my takeaways from that. Yeah, I'll be sure to share the takeaways.
Yeah, takeaways. I'm just fucking. I don't know why I said that, man. I need help.
No, you're good. You're good.
I'm not a good person.
No.
All right, let's keep going.
So last time I was saying SPY 480 is like the load the boat level. Go rewind. Watch last Thursday.
You did say that. You said load the boat at 480. I remember that. Go watch last week. If you don't believe he said at 480, you need to fucking buy. Load the boats.
Like I flipped fully long, closed all of the shorts, and you can see just a lot of crazy price action. This is a 5-minute time frame. So basically here, this is what was happening on Sunday into Monday. Futures were gapping down, dropping 5%. Then off of a rumor that Trump was going to pause the tariffs, the market went from the lows to the highs 8.3%.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely wild. So that's what happened Monday. So I'm sitting in my long positions. Cool. Tuesday, we get a gap up, a tiny little push, and then it's a gap and crap. The market dropped almost 7% from the highs. If the market had started down and it dropped 7%, they actually put the circuit breakers on and they halted trading for 30 minutes just because shit's getting so wild. Then Wednesday, market's not really doing too much. And in the morning, Trump posts, hey, this is a great time to buy. And when everybody's away from their computer screen, because like who trades at noon, like 1 o'clock? Boom, the market in 30 minutes, the market ran up 7%, finished the day up 8% from that breakout level.
30% in 7 minutes?
Well, if you had like triple levered ETFs like SPXL or TQQQ was up 35% that day. And what's crazy about this is this was not priced into the options chain. So if you had any 0-day call option, $7, just a $7 investment turned into $2,500.
Whoa.
$7.
Like on what instrument?
SPY call expiring in just like 2 hours.
Oh shit.
3 hours. Yeah, seriously. So that's an example of gamma. where the delta starts to ramp up on those options. I won't get super nerdy with it. Basically, the market makers are mispricing the options right now. And we're getting.
Can you buy $7 worth of fucking SPY calls?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the market is pricing in that SPY is probably not going to go much higher than 510 on Wednesday. So it makes the price of that 510 call like 1.0 or $100. But if you buy something like the 525 call, that's going to cost $7. But if it pushes $10 in the money, you're controlling 100 shares of SPY.
I got
wild. Even today, it was not pricing in this big of a drop. The circuit breakers almost went on if the market had dropped 0.5% more. This is really, really important. And believe it or not, the main thing that's going on with the market, it's not about the stock market. It's actually about the bond market. So this is really
talk
important.
to him, man. Talk your shit, Greg. Let him know about these fucking bonds. You need to diversify your bonds, man.
You guys should take notes because this is a really good economics lesson. So this is TBT. This is basically the interest rates on the 20-year treasury bond. So TBT is inverse to TLT. As interest rates go up, bonds go down. TLT, the 20-year treasury bond, it's an asset held by many companies, corporations, and governments on their balance sheet. And when they need to meet financial obligations, they need to sell those bonds. China's a big holder in United States government bonds. And China has been selling them a lot. And if you guys watch The Big Short, do you guys remember when they were like playing Jenga and they're like showing all the little stuff?
Big Short, that's my shit, man.
Basically, what happened was the whole Jenga board just fell over. If the bond market starts crashing, that can cause a global economic crisis and a depression. If the stock market drops, you usually just see a recession. You know, it's not that big of a deal. We'll get through it. You can just kind of wait 6 months to a year and everything's just fine. But Trump was like, nah, I got to walk back these tariffs because we might be facing a depression.
But tell them why the bond market might have dropped.
Yeah, so that's one of the biggest reasons. Global investors are pulling out. Plus, you can see a technical breakout on TBT. So basically,
but tell them about China. Was you about to go there? The China, how much bonds was you about to do it?
I don't know exactly how much bonds China owns, but basically, people dump bonds if they need a higher interest rate, or there's just not enough demand for the bonds because whatever the interest rate is on TBT, you get paid more monthly income from those bonds. We actually traded this in victory trades. We bought call options on TBT right as this trend started to break out. Every $130 turned into $260, $265.
Come on, man. I remember we talked about when you sent that trade alert. Listen, if you want to learn more about this before you keep going, hold that thought, Greg. We have a free Discord where we'll teach you about trading. And you know, I have other courses in there about making money, and I have fitness courses in there, fat loss courses in there. It's called the Victory Unit, right? It accompanies this podcast. You should join that. And Greg's posting free trade advice, and you can ask Greg questions. But also, we have a paid program called Victory Trades, where you can actually get Greg's trade alerts right to your phone. I get them. I take them. All right. Oh, yeah. And then not only that, you can trade with us every morning. When the market opens, me and Greg, we both on there live, trading live. I post my wins every morning because I trade futures every morning. Greg's posting all types of shit. He's trading more than just futures. I only trade futures, day trade, but we in there doing it together every morning at 9:30. You can trade with us, and you get Greg's trade alerts throughout the day, throughout the week. I'm sorry. Continue. Go ahead. Go back to what.
Come join us. Come check out the Discord. I also post some of my YouTube videos. I post what's going on in the market. I also answer any question in the trading chat. In the free
if you want to join Victory Trades, just go to our free Discord, hit up Greg, Young Candlestick, and say, yo, I want to join Victory Trades, and he'll put you in sort that out for you.
Yeah, I got you. Basically, what I'm getting at is the key to the next market move is going to be based off the bond market. If you see TBT starting to break out, it's breaking above 38, breaking above 39. We've got a crisis on our hands, and the stock market can take a fat shit. Okay. If the bond market can stabilize, so you see maybe TLT starting to hold support a little bit and starts to bounce, that's good for the stock market. It means no global depression. Okay. So the bonds need to hold up. Otherwise, you're going to want to consider hedging. I mean, this isn't financial advice. Anything can happen. These are highly leveraged products, but you can trade SPXS if you want to go for a longer time frame. You can grab SDS. I'm still wheeling TZA. This is short IWM, triple levered. So these are different strategies that you can use to profit from the bond market, potentially dropping, interest rates going higher.
We gotta get that shit from you probably never watched this Chappelle show where they had Wu-Tang Financial. And the dude was like, "Yo, man, you got to." He said, "Oh, you put my volume back on." Yeah, I wanted. Yeah, he was like, he said, "Oh, it's not on."
You need to diversify your bonds, nigga.
Yes,
I need to put that on my motherfucking soundboard.
13 lessons.
Oh, shit, not Hermosi.
Seriously?
Right? Yeah.
I couldn't say it better myself.
It was Dave Chappelle's skit from 20 years ago. All right, let's go. Let's keep going.
I couldn't say it better myself. Literally, yeah. I could not say it better.
You couldn't say it. You got to diversify your bonds, nigga. Yeah. Every time remind me to put that on my soundboard, and every time we mention bonds, I need to play that. All right, let's keep going.
So when interest rates are spiking a lot, that hurts longer dated bonds like TLT the most, but shorter dated bonds usually don't get affected that much. So if you're looking for a safe place to park your cash, BIL is a relatively safe place where you can just buy it, hold it for a few months. You can always sell it if you need cash. That's where a lot of money managers are just parking their client funds. They're not fucking around in the market. They're just chilling. And that's something to think about. So the bond market's going to be key to the next move on SPY. So last time we talked about 480, basically just keep an eye on the range of yesterday. Above yesterday's range could be bullish for the market. Beneath yesterday's range is super, super bearish for the market. Okay. That's key. Next up, I also brought up Apple. Apple achieved its target of 180 and it dipped all the way down to 169. So if Apple gets overbought, I think it's a short. But let it get overbought. Be peaceful with it. That's one of my top short candidates. I closed out
the last. You said BP or you said Apple? Or
yep,
BP?
Apple. Let it get overbought. That's one of my favorite short candidates. Okay. They have a lot of business in China. And if China's just going to get smacked around by tariffs, it's going to hurt Apple's business model. It just has to. Okay. So closed out the XLB short. That was a nice little win. Cool. Then, so some key takeaways from the CMT conference. I was asking some of the money managers, like, hey, where are you rotating into? What are you in? And they're just really, really defensive, cash heavy. They're also loading up on value. So if you're interested in lower beta, this is going to have less volatility, less risk, but also less reward. But you do get a dividend. This is SPYV. So that's a great place to potentially consider parking your cash. If you're looking for a growth opportunity, we talked a lot about AVGO, Broadcom. And so Nancy Pelosi is also long on Broadcom. It is
Nancy?
What?
Nancy's
long. Oh yeah. She's long from quite a while ago. So she's just chilling. But I like the stock longer term. It can get hit if the market drops a lot. Maybe you nibble some right here, you buy some at 120, you buy some at 100, and just pray that the market recovers. Otherwise, though, if we get into a new bull market, I think AVGO takes out these highs, 251. So AVGO, potential 40% upside, maybe 100% upside for the next 1 to 3 years. One of the money managers was really bullish on Netflix. And I get that. It has relative strength. Netflix looks unaffected, right? Like that's a decent chart compared to what's happening to SPY. He's bullish on Netflix. It does have relative strength. The only problem with Netflix is it does, by traditional fair value metrics, it is a bit overvalued. The Morningstar analysts give Netflix a fair value of 480. So maybe if Netflix gets super oversold down to like 400 or 420, that could be a potential entry for some shares. If some other defensive names, XLP, look for longs on that. XLP is in rotation.
Okay, the XLP is which sector?
Yeah, so this is the consumer staples. So your grocery store stocks, Costco, Walmart, Target. One thing I also want to show real quick is this is the business cycle. So where we are right now is we're at stock prices fall, and this goes in a circle right over here. We're at stock prices fall. Consumer staples are having relative strength. So we're in an early contraction, likely. So by the time that they announce that we're in a recession, that's the time to potentially accumulate stocks over the next 6 months. So wait.
Oh, what is this? What is it? What is this you got? Text that to me, whatever the fuck it is.
Text it to you?
Yeah, text it to me when you get a chance.
Hell yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
That's also posted in the Victory Trades trading chat. I post tons of information and proprietary information there.
You know what I'm saying?
So basically, consumer staples are in rotation. Utilities are in rotation. Utilities pay nice dividends. So that's pretty cool. Those are kind of just chilling right now. And next up, we have bank earnings tomorrow. So we have a lot of banks reporting earnings. So XLF is going to be key. When the XLF finally bottoms out, I think the overall broad stock market will be bottoming. And that also has to do with the business cycle. When you start to see financials lead, that's kind of where we're in the thick of the recession and we're going to start coming out of it. Okay. So when we're looking at XLF, you know, we can take a look at things like MasterCard. This is a good measure of consumer spending. So MasterCard kind of looks a bit bearish, especially as long as we're underneath this trend line. So look at the price of MasterCard and the price action of Visa. That's going to tell you how many credit card swipes is the consumer swiping, you know? That's going to be key. If you're looking for some short setups, KMX is going to be one of them. This is a bearish kicking reversal pattern, just reported earnings. It has earnings momentum. I'm probably going to short this underneath 64. And I do that by buying put options. Okay, so that's KMX. Another one is COF. Victory Trades got a nice win on this earlier this year, but I'm looking for shorts on Capital One Financial. You guys probably have a credit card with them, but if there's going to be a lot of credit card defaults in this potential recession, this actually very likely recession we're going into, these credit card companies can get clapped pretty hard. Okay. So
Nima, you see this guy said he made some money with Victory Trades. Put that on the screen, man.
Put it on the screen.
Yeah, man. He took that trade. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to-
What's up? Indy just joined last week.
Yo, you got to unmute my computer, homie. Thank you, man. Nice, man.
We talk a lot in the morning lives. Congratulations. Yeah, that T trade was peaceful, wasn't it? It was pretty good.
All right, yo. What's up? What fuck is up with Bitcoin, man?
Yeah, that's a good question. /BTC.
Let's talk about this pretend fucking currency, man. This fucking make believe
I
shit.
know, right? Well, I will say we've been talking about this retest area for a while, haven't we?
Bro, right? It got right. It got right to the pre-election. It went right to the pre-election. I started buying more.
Yeah, I mean,
not the ETF though. The ETF, not the fucking Bitcoin. The ETF.
Yeah, you know, it has relative strength. It's holding support.
Yeah,
it makes sense that it's holding right here. This is maybe the thing that could save the stock market, since Bitcoin is an indicator of risk on. If Bitcoin can hold up, that looks great.
Put your MACD up.
I'd keep an eye on this downtrend line. Yeah. I'd be interested in like more Bitcoin longs if it could break that downtrend.
Oh, put your MACD indicator on.
All right, you got it. Which one? Volume weighted MACD for better timing?
Regular. It's always regular when you fucking with me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
There is going to be a bit of a lag compared to the regular MACD.
Yeah. Okay. Do you see it?
What?
It's a divergence, right? It made a lower low on the Bitcoin made a lower low, but the MACD made a higher low.
Oh, as in like probably like right here?
Yeah, exactly.
Generally for divergences, I like using the RSI, and there is a bullish divergence.
Divergence on two indicators, Gregory.
I agree. You know, that is telling. So
come on, man.
I'm personally still going to wait on Bitcoin. I think you'll have time to buy it. That's just my personal opinion. But if you're down to dollar cost average, that's the best strategy, I think.
I've been dollar cost averaging by selling cash secured puts on the ETF. So one of two things happens: either I buy it for a little cheaper than it is right now, or I get paid. I keep the premium and I get my money back. Right? Cash secure puts on that's I think, Greg, I'm calling it. I think that's going to be the trade of the year. Cash secure puts on IBIT. That's what it is, right? That's the ETF, right? IBIT.
Yeah, I think it could be. I think it can be one of the trades of the year.
One of the trades. Okay, I got you.
I'm gonna try and one up you. Although I don't want to outshine the master.
No, go. Listen, man. Listen. You talking about this shit because you better at it than me. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I have a lot of textbut knowledge, but you got more balls than me. We make a good
balls,
team.
Balls, and yeah. I'm a gunslinger, you know. All right, you got a question, Greg?
All right, let's check it out. What's up? Where the cash at? What we buying or selling? That's $1 million question. I am long on GDX. I sent out the alert today that I'm buying GDX calls. You can also buy GDX shares, but gold is still having relative strength. You guys remember that I noted that the retest of this like 42 area could be a dip buy because we talked about this breakout. This breakout right here, if you missed it on the way out, catch it on the way back in. It came.
You
on
bought
the way
calls
back
today?
In. Yep, I bought calls today. You can buy shares after hours right now if you want to partake in the trade. But I do like GDX. Long.
Oh yeah, it just broke out, right?
Yep, it's just now breaking out to daily highs. It hasn't reached all-time highs yet. All-time highs were in late 2011. But I am targeting something around 50 to 51 on GDX.
And this is the ETF of gold miners.
Yep, the ETF of gold miners. So you got like Newmont Mining, NEM. This is the monthly chart, but this is NEM. Nice relative strength, right? Compared to the rest of the market. You got AGI, stuff like that. It's just a basket of gold miners. Alamos Gold, there's AGI. So GDX is a diversified portfolio of the gold miners. You could also just stick with GLD, gold calls. Gold is hitting all-time highs. It's also pushing up in the after hours right now. We've been talking about gold for a while.
We've been talking about gold.
I think GLD.
What's ETF? You just want to buy gold.
Yeah, GLD is my favorite. It's super liquid too. You can market order the option.
Why do you be fucking with GDX instead of GLD?
Well, GDX, sometimes the miners can have a little bit of relative strength. And also sometimes what can happen too is sometimes the options, you can buy a little bit more of them if it's a lower price. So instead of buying like 2 call options on GLD, I can buy 4 call options on GDX because it's $47 a share for GDX and GLD is almost $300 a share.
Okay, I want to ask you about one more. Yo,
what's up?
EWG.
Germany.
Germany, man. Like Germany, I've been telling you, man, they've been getting it popping, right? You know, and then the tariffs kind of fucked them up, but they're still above the 200-day move. It went right down to the 200-day moving average and fucking bounce. It's doing better. It's like it looks better than the SPY. It
does. It is stronger than the SPY, and there is rotation in foreign markets right now. I just think it's okay. It's gonna be highly correlated with SPY, and basically, if you can get SPY right, you can trade most stocks, right? So it really is going to come down to SPY, but maybe instead of longing on SPY, maybe you do take a long on EWG.
I'm saying, and it's cheaper too.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So like if you wanted to will something and you ain't got the fucking 60 grand or whatever you need to will SPY.
Yeah.
Like
I wouldn't overstay my welcome on a wheel just because the bid-ask spreads are really wide. You're going to have to pay potentially $100 to $200 just to get into this trade. I do think that just shares would be easier to play.
All right.
Unless you can find a tight bid-ask on some of the options. But I do like the relative strength. Like that reminds me, how's Berkshire doing?
And then, Berkshire, right? Berkshire and Japan. I don't know. I don't like Germany and Japan doing good at the same time. I don't like the idea of them trying to get the band back together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, right?
When them motherfuckers get together, man.
Japan's not doing as well. Yeah, seriously. Japan's not doing so hot right now. But Berkshire looks really good. BRK/B.
That's good. We never want Japan and Germany to be doing good at the same time. Never again.
It's true. We just want to find where the money is. That's it. Find where the money's where's the money at? And for me, lately, the money has been in SPX, like iron condors and credit spreads and stuff like that. There's a really nice win that we had.
You're gonna talk about Berkshire real quick, though.
Yeah, it has relative strength. So Berkshire, I don't see any setups on it though. It's just like, okay, it's going to be stronger on market.
Yeah, if you was in it, stay in it. But I don't see a setup to get in it. I mean, you could have got in it when it hit the 200-day moving average.
Yeah, you could have just gotten in it when SPY was hitting 480. You could have just bought anything.
You could have fucking bought anything, man. You could have just thrown the money at the fucking anything.
Yeah, just chuck some money into the market when SPY hits 480. Boom, there we go. But yeah, I like Berkshire. I just want to wait for more oversold conditions. You know, the futures market is selling off right now. Futures market is down about 1.2%. So we'll see what tomorrow brings with bank earnings.
The strongest shit that you talked about today, man, is really gold, right? That's the strongest shit.
There's not many places to put your money. You know, you can trade futures. GC futures are really nice to trade. You can trade MGC futures. I like that. Nice and peaceful. So that I'm going to be probably trading those long tomorrow morning.
You know what I'm gonna start doing, because they put me on last week. You know, you can buy futures on Robinhood now.
Yeah, what do you?
And I'm gonna start like throwing my own money in it and swing trading. You know, the reason I like, somebody asked why do I like futures more than options, is because you don't have to be as right on the time.
You don't
have to be right on the time. That's the main thing. You know,
no theta decay.
Yeah,
no theta decay whatsoever. If you're going to
y'all who like the day trade, no PDT rule.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you have less than $25,000 in your trading account, futures is great for day trading, for getting your exposure to the market. Let's say, okay, I need to hedge a portfolio. Okay, I can short an MNQ, and that'll do really well at hedging a portfolio, depending on how much delta you have.
I think I'm gonna start swing trading it. You know, I'm gonna throw some money in Robinhood, because most of my money is out of Robinhood, because I had to diversify my fucking portfolio, man. My investment portfolio. But I'm gonna throw some cash in there and start swing trading the fucking.
Hit me up. I'll help you set some brackets: a stop bracket, a take profit bracket.
Yeah.
Take the entry, and then you'll either wake up to it hitting your stop loss or it hits your take profit.
Come on now.
You'll have my analysis. Plus, I do like using AI sometimes for the broad market. It's not perfect. It's just another tool. It's just like another indicator.
You got another question.
What's up?
You gonna answer it while I go urinate?
You got it. Go pee. Yeah. What's up, Mario? That's a good profile picture. Okay, he says, hey, Greg, is Enphase, EMPH, a dip buy opportunity for long term? That's a really good question. Let's check it out. So EMPH, it's a solar stock from the solar sector. It is down 8.44% today, and it does look a bit bearish. See, the graph goes from the top left to the bottom right. So that just means downtrend. We have to assume that downtrends will persist until they reverse. I don't see any clear signs of a bottom. Enphase Energy does have earnings on April 22nd, 2025. So it's going to move up or down a lot by that date. The price is interesting. It's at $50 a share. It used to be one of my investments. I actually bought this at $10 a share a while ago, back over here, back in 2019. I sold it at like 50. Of course, I could have sold it at 340. But now it is coming into, it's catching some eyes. Now, what I also want to do is check out, what does Morningstar give as a fair value? So for Morningstar, they have all these CFAs, these chartered financial analysts. And what they do is those CFAs, you guys can hear me, right? Hey, you guys are good? Yeah, we're good. So these CFAs, they run a bunch of models, they put in their earnings, do a bunch of calculations, and they come to a fair value estimate. That just means the stock tends to gravitate towards that level in the long run. They give Enphase Energy a fair value of $60 per share. So currently the price is $50 a share. So it is a discount, but I want a deep discount. Don't you want to make 30%, 50%, 100%? If you wait for the price to potentially get down to 20 or 30, and the fair value is at 60, then you can potentially double your money. So you can see some of these different fair value metrics. You know, Tesla, fair value, 250. So they upgraded that. So when we're looking at Enphase, I would just wait. Solar stocks have been in a downtrend. You can take a look at the TAN ETF. This is the solar ETF. And it's just confirming that downtrend, you know, breaking supports, you know, it just had this range for a while, breaks the range. Maybe it's the bottom. I think that there are better investments, but maybe if you don't own any solar stocks, maybe you could just invest in TAN if you really wanted to. One stock that's interesting is Run. The fair value of this stock is $10 a share. So this one, again, the trend is just ugly. I'm not invested in Run, but I'm keeping an eye on it. You can also wheel this. You can sell cash secured puts, get assigned, sell covered calls. It's at that attractive $6 price point. So you can get an extra 2% a week if you're willing to wheel it and potentially give up your shares at your average cost or higher. So that's a potential alternative, but Enphase really is interesting. One stock that's also in the solar sector is First Solar. This was starting to break out, but it's really not holding. This ties in also with the SPY. Everything's just following the SPY. I think nothing else matters when it comes to technical analysis right now other than the SPY. When the VIX is this high, volatility, everything's just correlated to the SPY. That's why I'm just watching it.
Yeah, you can. I just saw you can trade gold futures on.
Oh yeah.
On Robinhood.
Oh yeah, GC. You can trade crude oil /CL. By the way, crude oil. We talked about the short on crude oil. Crude oil since that point dropped 22%.
Or MGC.
Yep, MGC I really like. It moves super well. Like you kind of know what you're getting with MGC. And I like trading like 3 or 4 contracts on MGC. Trade on like the 5-minute time frame. Wider stop.
It's up year to date. It's up.
Yeah,
20%.
Yeah, that's some alpha, right?
Right, but while the fucking stock market, while the SPY is down like 7, it's down like how much year to date?
Down about 15%. It's tough to say. From the highs, SPY is down 15%. So maybe it's down about 10%.
Yeah.
I know. Massive outperformance. It's crazy how things can happen. And, you know, you could fully blame Trump for this, but there's also economic cycles. So sometimes naturally the stock market just happens to have a red year. Generally 1 out of every 4 years is going to be a red year. There's going to be a recession usually once every 10 years. We're kind of due for one. The bond yields have been inverted for a while. I think it's just a time to be in cash, be careful. I'm liking the day trading lately. I'm loving futures trading. I'm excited for the payouts this month. I'm liking the SPX.
Come on, man. If y'all want to trade with us, join Victory Trades. Let's go.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, I think all right, cool. All right, thank you, Greg. Listen, if y'all want to learn more about this, hit up our free Discord. I have other courses in there. I have fitness courses in there. I have a mindset course. I'm putting out free shit in there. And Greg is free trading advice. But if you want to trade with us, hit up Greg in the Discord. Young Candlestick. Be like, yo, I want to join Victory Trades, right? And that way you can get Greg's trade alerts straight to your phone. I take them every time I get them. And you can trade with us in the morning, in the market. Greg's showing his screen. He trades live. He shows he's super transparent. We can only share one screen at a time, but I post my wins in there. It's lit.
It's a lot of fun. I think
I post my losses too.
Yeah, no, definitely. The losses happen in trading, but you just want to keep coming back stronger. That's it.
That's the name of the game, man. Listen, man. Hey, thank you, Greg. Appreciate it.
Hey, peace out.
I think I got some more super chats.
You have JC. How can I overcome perfectionism? I want to make progress and action, but I keep getting stuck in details, like I'm overthinking and growing fear.
Yeah. That's never been a problem for me. I am not a perfectionist. If anything, I probably I had to get people on my team who are more detail oriented than me. I'm more of a gunslinger. My style, I just kick in the door, 2 guns up, shoot everything that moves. That's more my style. But I've helped people who had that problem. And the thing is, you need to understand that, well, here's what you do. You give yourself a time frame. So for example, when I used to edit my own videos, you could sit here and make them perfect as best as possible, right? But to make them as best as possible, you'll never get the shit out, right? So I said, okay, how good can I make it in this amount of time, right? So you place restrictions on yourself when you're doing things like, how good can I make this in this amount of time? And then what's going to happen is you're going to get better with time. So I'm more about reps than perfection, because perfection is not a thing. Like you'll never be perfect. There's always room for improvement. And once I made peace with that, I just know that as long as I get better each time, you get what I'm saying? Right? You see, I'm fucking doing my podcast live, fucking up, making mistakes in public, right? You just want to get better at that. You just want to get used to that. I think that's a trait you should develop. Like, get good at making mistakes and be okay with it, because that's how you're going to get better. Like, you learn from failure, right? You know what I'm saying? So like, what's the worst thing that can happen if you're trying to put something out, or you're trying to do something? What's the worst thing that can happen? You fail, you get up, you start again. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may be overthinking the negative ramifications. You get what I'm saying? I think that's what it is. You get better from reps. But if you never take the rep, if you never finish the rep, then you can't improve, So put time frames on yourself. Say, how good can I make it in this amount of time? Instead of how good I can make it. I'm like, what's next?
We have Mr. Out of Context. Most underrated dude on the planet.
Hey, thanks, man. What kind of money is that? That's Canadian money? Do we accept that over here? I'll take it. I'll take anything. I'll take anything, man. You want to give me fucking gold coins? Yeah, some terrorists.
It's man. Canadian, like $2.
Hey, man, listen, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? That shout out to you, Mr. Out of Context. You in Canada, man. All right.
We have Ivan.
Mm-hmm. They got a maple syrup based economy over there, man. Yo, man, you don't want to know what's funny? Y'all want to hear something funny? Shout out to Canada, but y'all want to hear something funny? Like, let's check this out, man. This is when Canada be tripping, when they was tripping about the terrorists. It's like, yo, hold up. What's the GDP of Canada?
For Canada is $55,890, nominal 2025. This means that on average, a Canadian worker earns $55,890 per year.
That's not what I wanted to know. What's the GDP of the country of Canada? The gross national gross domestic. Oh, shit, bitch. What's Canada's GDP?
The latest estimate for Canada's GDP is $2,161,480,000,000, nominal USD. This was reported by Statistics Canada in their latest GDP release.
What's the GDP of Florida?
The latest reported GDP for Florida is $1.3 trillion. This figure was released by the Bureau of Economic Analysis, BEA, in their latest GDP report.
So it's like, yo, that whole big ass country, their GDP is like 2 Floridas. I don't know why that's so funny to me. But anyway, I fuck with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with y'all, man. Drake, my favorite rapper, or one of he at least now that ever since I found out J. Cole was a bitch. Drake been my favorite rapper. So shout out to Canada. What else we got?
We have Ivan. Any course recommendations for someone new to video editing? Goal is to create high quality reels for Instagram and build a personal brand.
It's not even just like editing, you know, that the editing is a part of it, but it's not the only one, right? It's not the only part of it. It's not the major part of it either. It's really coming up with ideas and knowing what to post and how to post stuff. You know, we talk about that in the influencer domination. That's out now. We promoting now. Yeah. Matter of fact, we're gonna put a link in the description for influencer domination. That's my program where I teach people how to grow their following. And one of the main things we focus on is reels. Yeah, you know, and then I have I do a live training every Wednesday with the students where I actually review their content. And man, some of these guys they've been making like huge progress. Like guys are going viral. Guys who like had never posted content before are going viral now. Like this shit is crazy, you know. Yeah, let's check it out. Neem's gonna put a link.
Yeah, I also put it in the comments so you can.
Okay, cool. All right. Anything else? All right. Let's get back into the shit we was talking about. The persuasion rules. All right. Yeah, go. Okay, so if you're just joining us, I've been talking about the 21 dark secrets of persuasion. This is shit you need to know if you are selling anything to anyone. All right. So we covered a few of them. We started with the book, the One Sentence Persuasion program, right? And we went over how to you gotta encourage your dreams, justify their fears, and the next thing you have to do is you have to encourage their dreams, justify their failures. The next principle is allay their fears, meaning like fear is a really powerful emotion, right? And it can paralyze people. To truly connect with them and persuade them, right? You need to address those underlying fears that they have, right? And we got to go back to the big homie Trump. What does he always talk about? China's killing us, taking our jobs, is doing this. When he first ran for president, when he first announced he's running for president, he came down the escalator. He said, immigrants are coming over here, you know, and they're bringing drugs and they're bringing murder and they're bringing rape. Like he straight up fear. Straight up, he really went for the fear with that. The shit that listen, I don't think that's true. I love immigrants, man. They deliver my food every day. You know what I'm saying? They clean my home and they hit my videos, right? I love immigrants. I think the best thing about America is, you know what I'm saying, we get some of the best people over here, man. I fuck with immigrants. I'm just saying, I'm not making a political statement. I'm saying he used fear to galvanize his base. But that goes back to what the homie Freud was saying. Remember, the decisions people make, every decision people make, they're either moving towards pleasure, we covered a lot of that, or away from pain, right? So if you see politics, man, they're always talking about some shit you should be scared of, right? Politicians are fucking marketers. They're always talking about some shit that you need to be afraid of, scared of, right? But you also see that in other industries. Like when we're talking about thought repellent, this product that will be out soon, I tell you, man, all the dangers that can happen if you let a thought infiltrate your life. You know what I'm saying? What happens if you get a thought pregnant? Now you on the Maury show trying to figure out if it's you the father or not. You hoping the Maury say you're not the father, but you don't know. You scared. That's why you need thought repellent to make sure it doesn't happen, right? Me just saying that right now probably scared some of y'all into buying some thought repellent. Right? Because you want to what? Avoid pain, the way Freud talked about. It's very important, right? But the next step in the one sentence persuasion course was confirm their suspicions, right? So sometimes people have like a gut feeling about something, right? They may doubt themselves, or they may feel like somebody's against them, or they have all these conspiracy theories of what's going on. And if you And you can really build their trust by showing them that you understand their perspective, or even saying that it's true. I like to use politics as examples. I'm not political. Again, I want to say this 100%. I'm 100% apolitical. But politics is a great example because they have to sell. Somebody's running for president. He has to persuade half the country, at least half the country, to vote for him, right? So one of the things they do is confirm their suspicions, right? They say, what does Trump say, man? He said the Democrats are lying to you. He's saying that they're trying to make your kids gay or some shit, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I'm gonna give you a better example, right? I live in Florida. I moved here a while ago, right? And I got family members who are like young family members, nieces and nephews who go to school in Florida. I got a lot of friends with young children in schools in Florida, right? A while ago, the governor, he had this bill that they couldn't talk about, that people couldn't talk about homosexuality in schools, right? It sounds legit, right? You shouldn't be talking about that stuff, I guess, right? I get it, especially the young kids, right? The thing is, he made a law saying they can't do it, right? And people were like, yeah, people got real galvanized behind it. But the thing is, it wasn't like a real thing. Like my niece and nephews, they ain't never got no gay homework. They never had motherfucking tranny book reports or no shit like that. Like it wasn't a real thing. And I remember I started asking all my friends with young children, you know, and it was like, yeah, man, was your kids getting gay homework? And he was like, nah, man, we ain't never had no gay homework. Yo, like you wasn't getting like, they have to have write tranny book reports or nothing shit like that. He's like, nah, man, we never. I'm like, oh, he just, you know, people were kind of scared and they had suspicions about this. So he solved the fake problem. The governor solved the fake problem, but it really galvanized his base. He gets reelected off the strength of shit like that, right? Right. And he did. And the beauty of it is for him that he didn't have to solve a real problem. Right, he didn't have to address the falling the average like grades and reading levels of Florida students are plummeting. He didn't have to address that. He didn't have to talk about the childhood obesity epidemic that's happening in Florida. He didn't have to address that. You're right. He didn't have to address that the number one killer of Floridians is childhood obesity. He didn't have to address none of that shit. He didn't, because it's easier to fix a fucking fake problem than it is to fix a real one. Because if you fix a real problem, you got to do something. But if you make something up that people are scared of anyway, that they're suspicious about, you make that shit up, boom. Now, you know, now you get people excited about it. It wasn't a real thing, man. Well, I mean, I've talked to so many parents, like, because I had just moved here and I was concerned, like, fuck, man, do I want to move to Florida? They teaching kids to be gay. It wasn't real, man. But he got elected off the strength of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. But he confirmed the suspicions, whether they're real or not. If you can do this in your marketing, some kind of way, right? If you can do this in your marketing, it should be real. Right, I wouldn't make shit up like our governor did. But if you can find something real and talk about it, then it has morality involved in it, you know. And it's a super powerful technique to get people to galvanize people. Right, all right. And my favorite part of the one sentence persuasion course is help them throw rocks at their enemies. Help them throw rocks at their enemies, right? You see this in the YouTube space a lot, especially YouTube fitness space, right? People can get real popular of shitting on other YouTubers, especially fitness, you know, the guys who do like natty or nots or fake natties or all that shit, you know, and it does a few things. One, the whole saying someone is on drugs or is a fake natty, right? It does a few things. One, it confirms their suspicions, right? It confirms their suspicions. It also justifies their failure, right? Because imagine if somebody's in better shape than you, then you either got to take that mental L, you got to take that mental L, right? That low status. Oh, this person's in better shape than me, right? Or, but if they're cheating, it's like, oh, but he's cheating, right? It justifies your inferiority. You know what I'm saying? And it's powerful. This is why some of this shit gets so people are able to build huge followings off shitting on other creators. And I'm telling you, this shit is WWE though. Like I do not believe they believe everything they say. I'm sure there are fake natties for sure, right? But they were saying that I was on. They were saying that I was on roids before I even started testosterone replacement therapy. I was like almost 40. I'm 42 now, right? But I was close to 40 when I started testosterone replacement therapy, and I was 100% transparent about it. I showed my blood work. I had my doctors on my YouTube channel. I did a whole documentary about this shit, right? But people were saying I was on it before for years. They were saying I was on shit before. Why? Because, man, what that does is it makes me their enemy, right? It's like, oh, I'm not a failure. Brand is not in shape because he hasn't skipped a workout in over 2 decades, and he tracks everything. It's not because he tracks everything he eats in MyFitnessPal for fucking 20 years. That's not why. It's because he's cheating, right? I get it, right? And it galvanizes the base. All right. How do you use something like this in your marketing? Right. Yo, one thing I know is WWE, because there's one creator. He made a lot of videos about me, right? But then he said that he thought Luigi Maggioni, the dude who killed the insurance guy, he said that he was not natural. It's like, oh, if this motherfucker's not natural, then fucking nobody is, right? Like he just looked like a regular guy. That's how this shit is just WWE. They're just saying shit. They're just saying they don't believe this shit. Anyway, how do you use this in your marketing, right? How do you help them throw rocks on the enemies? Well, again, if you bring back the politics, right? Boom. If you're a Republican, you say, hey man, it's the fucking gays. He says it's the trannies. The trannies are doing it, right? Meanwhile, the transsexual population is less than fucking 1%. In the United States, I never see none of these motherfuckers ever. I lived in New York and I've seen less than 5. I lived in Manhattan. I've seen less than 5 in my whole life. It's like not a real issue, right? But if we villainize them, right? Then it's like it can galvanize people, right? So who do you make the villain? Who can you make the villain in your marketing, right? For example, Apple does this really well, right? When they, I don't know if this is a good example. But yeah, in the early 2000s, they had one of the most successful marketing campaigns of all time, where they had a cool guy and he was supposed to be a Mac, and they had this fat nerdy motherfucker, like corporate motherfucker who was supposed to be a PC, and he was always fucking up. And what they did was they talked about the PC like, that's not a good example. That's not a good example. The better example. Should have thought this through. See, that's why you don't have to worry about being perfectionist, man. You could just come up with the shit off the top of your dome like me, right? A better example would throw rocks at your enemy. You know what? Fuck a better example. The politics examples is best. How you can use it in your advertisement is, okay, you got to find a way to use that in your advertisement. You got to make something the villain. I remember once I came out with a program back when I sold fitness programs, and it was called the Terminator 2-week Judgment Diet, right? It was like a playoff Terminator 2, Judgment Day, whatever. Anyway, and the way I marketed it was, I was saying that this is the most extreme diet plan you'll ever get, right? I was talking about it was extreme. And what I said was, all these fucking fitness influencers, they think you a pussy. That's why they tell you to do something sustainable, right? They tell you to do something fucking easy because they don't think you're fucking tough enough to do something hardcore, right? They say, oh, you need to do something sustainable, something that you can make a lifestyle. And I said, no, fuck that. Why would you want to make a caloric deficit a lifestyle? It's fucking a caloric deficit is literally mild starvation. Why would you want to sustain starvation? Instead, get as ripped as possible, as fast as possible, and then maintain your ideal weight. Make your ideal weight sustainable once you get there, but let's get ripped fast as possible. And I said, these other influencers, they don't want you to do that because they think you are a fucking pussy. They don't think you're tough enough to do nothing hardcore. And you know what? They might be right. You probably not tough enough to do this shit, right? And I made the fitness industry, right, was the enemy. It's their fault. It's their fault that you still fat because they got you on this pussy shit in the name of it being sustainable. What you need is some fucking hardcore. And we made $100 grand off that in the first week in launch. Right? That's just one way to do it. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Okay, listen. Next, we're going to cover that's my breakdown of the one sentence persuasion formula. Next, we're going to get into Influence by Robert Cialdini. But we're not going to be able to do it today. I didn't have time, right? So this is going to be a two-parter. We're going to get into this next Tuesday, right? Do I have any super chats? No? No. All right, cool. Listen, this has been a Victory Talk podcast. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come back Tuesday to learn more so we can finish the 21 dark persuasion secrets to help you make money. All right, let's get it.